In order to defeat him, you must purge the Kasama pacifism and stoke your Mishima fire.
Whosoever hears this audio, if they be worthy, shall possess the inside human and superhuman abilities of the world's mightiest metahumans. Accompanying this journey of high quality nerd commentary, we got my man Colton, aka Pizza Parker. Talk to the people.
It's your boy Colton, aka me. You know,
Yeah,
you know who it is.
of course. And we got the greatest engineer in the entire multiverse, my man Gas. Say what's up.
Yo.
Yes, sir. And it's your boy Dennis, aka Old Dirty Dennis, aka every time I come around your city, King, aka Juice and Jin Kazama, aka Broshimitsu, aka Horang, nigga. I don't use my legs, I spread hers. AKA Gang Ryu, nigga, aka Hierarchy Mishima, nigga. Real niggas at the top.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yo, welcome to another issue of the Mighty Metahumans podcast, fellas. What's going on? What's up?
I'm feeling amazing because this is one of my favorite topics of all time.
Yeah, this nigga came dressed for this topic too.
I got my Tekken shirt on.
Yeah, buddy.
Actually, my favorite fighting game, and actually one of my favorite game series in general of all time.
It's probably my favorite, honestly. Like if I sit and think about it, it's definitely top 2 for me. So again, we talking Tekken. Give me one of your earliest Tekken memories.
Well,
it could be good or bad. It doesn't matter.
It is it's a great memory for me because I do always remember when I was like 10 playing Tekken 3 and going through the story mode as Lei Wulong. Shout out Lei Wulong.
Shout out Willie.
And he's the Jackie Chan character basically.
Yeah.
But he's the cop. He's like from Rush Hour.
Basically
in my head. But Lei Wulong and getting to Ogre and then beating Ogre and thinking the game is done and then getting to True Ogre and fighting True Ogre for like an hour and then beating the nigga and crying. Like I dead ass will always remember like I cried tears. Like I dead ass was
tears
like
of joy,
I did this shit. I did this shit myself. And then another great memory was all of us, like Gas was there too. Well, Gas, my mom, my cousin, it was like a few of us, and we were just like switching the controllers, going back and forth to see who could be True Ogre. And my mom beat True Ogre.
She smoked
with
his boots. She got the devil.
You remember that?
Nigga?
You remember that? Gas? Do you remember that? When mom was the person who beat True Ogre, we was all going through it. Yo, one of the greatest moments of all time. It was just like I was proud. Like I felt like, damn, we
fucking
did that.
wholesome.
Like
Love
look at my mom being the greatest fighting game player out of everybody in the house.
I was saying my earliest memory, and this is a deep cut reference. I didn't even live over here at that time. I think I lived in Brownsville. And
I lived in Bed-Stuy at the time when I was talking about that.
Okay. Yeah. So I was in Brownsville and I went to KB toy stores back then when that shit was still KB toy stores and it was in KP. And that's when the PlayStation was just getting jumping.
Yes,
and
sir.
like you remember when they had like the setup where like the screen and you could like play, like you just walk in. So they had that shit. And I think that was the first time I saw Tekken and I saw the credit scene with Kazuya throwing off Hayashi off the cliff, nigga, and then get the smirk. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Great motherfucking
cinema,
series,
nigga.
Man. That's cinema. That's cinema.
It's been on ever since with me and Tekken, son. And since we speaking of Tekken, I think one of my favorite things about Tekken, like just respect, is like the fight mechanics. You know what I'm saying?
Sir.
Like when you think
it's
of like
responsive.
Yeah, when you think of like 2D fighters like Capcom and like Marvel superheroes and shit like that, you can button mash your way through a lot of those games. Like you can get lucky against some niggas and button mash. Not maybe Street Fighter, but like, the more cartoony like Marvel superheroes, Marvel versus Capcom. You could kind of button you can't do that shit in Tekken, bro. Like a nigga that
Yeah.
can play Tekken is gonna
You
smoke
gotta
your
know what
fucking
the
boot.
fuck you're doing.
He's
Like,
gonna
you could button mash if it's two beginners.
yeah.
But like when you start meeting people who know how to block, who know how to
Know how to
sidestep, who know how to
do
fucking
the reverses,
reverse, like tech your shit.
yeah,
like, you
break
get
your
what I'm saying?
fucking
Break your grab.
yeah,
You get what I'm
break all that
saying? When
shit.
people learn shit like that, the crazy
You're
part
gonna get hurt,
of
son.
Tekken is like, yeah, you're gonna fucking get smoked. And I felt like Tekken is my favorite fighting game because of how responsive it is.
Yes.
Like, even though you might have to put in certain inputs with certain characters, it's always still responsive.
Yes.
So
No, I'm a huge fan.
I as I've said mad times, like I like watching like Street Fighter and shit, but I don't like I gotta do half circles and half moon and
Yeah.
all that bullshit to
Yeah.
like make a move come out. Like I feel like that's stupid. But whatever. Like I know people like what they like. But Tekken is my shit. Like,
I still like Street Fighters, and if you like fighting games, it's hard to say you just don't
that's
like
true.
Street Fighter at all.
I don't hate Street
But
Fighter at all.
I understand what
I
you
just
mean.
know I'm not good.
For me, it's not at the top of my list. Like Tekken would be that shit for me. Speaking of Tekken games, what is your favorite Tekken game of all time?
Well, I think Tekken 3 is probably near and dear to
Yes.
me. Tekken 2 is the first Tekken I've ever played.
Yeah.
Tekken, like, ooh, it might be Tekken 3. Tekken 3 might be my favorite.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I was waiting to see what you said because Tekken 3 is my favorite. I still got that disc, bro.
Yeah,
like I don't
Tekken
even
3
think
might be my
I
favorite.
could like play that shit on like the 5, but I still got that Tekken 3 disc somewhere. And Tekken Tournament, Tag Tournament. I fuck with Tag Tournament. I did like the idea of. I just didn't like that they kind of share a life. Like if you kill one person, that was the end of the fucking match. Instead of like taking from like a Street Fighter, Marvel versus Capcom, where it's like if that person dies, you still have another person. You know what I mean? Like I didn't like that aspect of it. And I did like the mini games, like Tekken Force, where it was kind of like the side
that
scroll
shit was hot.
Yeah. I mean,
All that shit is
I was
hot.
with my son Horang, just kicking through Tekken Force niggas, like beating up
I used
Hayashi's
to
men, son.
try other people in Tekken Force, which is what made me like really enjoy that they would put other modes in the shit.
Yeah. Nah, I really enjoyed that about that shit. I'll say one more thing. Give me your okay, quick scenario. You're in front of a PlayStation, power's on, Tekken's on. Give me your top 3 go-to characters that you play as.
So I like weird characters. Like all my characters are like pretty weird.
Okay.
Like my first. This is not anymore, but I might go back when I go play Tekken. But I used to be a Lei Mulan. This would be the 3 people I'll pick. I'll pick Lei Mulan, Wulong. I would pick Martial Law.
Real nigga.
Or I would pick Huarang, right?
Okay.
And those would be the 3.
Nice.
But now that I got older and it's like, you know, it's more games and shit. I have more than 3, which is weird. Like
no, I mean everybody got more than 3. I think
King,
that you experiment with. Okay.
King was like one of my mains. I would also main Miguel, the Spanish matador nigga who be slapping people.
Yeah.
I would also main Dragunov, the weird, the Michael Jackson of Russia.
Yeah, this nigga definitely got an interesting list.
And Boscovich, Dr. Boscovich.
Wow, nigga.
I used to like wild out with his silly ass. He a goofy ass character, but I used to wild out with Dr.
It's like
Dr.
picking
Boscovich.
Voldo, nigga.
Yeah. I used to go crazy in Tekken 2 with Dr. Boscovich, man. Like,
all right, let me see. My top 3. Let's say I was just soloing, right? Like I was just playing by myself. Brian Fury.
Yes, sir.
I fuck with that nigga. And Nina Williams. I was down with the assassination shit. Now, if I'm playing it competitively against other people, Horang, top. Or if I want to give y'all niggas a deep cut, my son Baek Doosan, the original Horang nigga from Tekken 2. That nigga, he was the nigga that started that kick shit and then passed it on to my son Horang. Law, it doesn't matter which one, Marshall or Forrest. I'm down for the shits. Frog kicks, nigga, all day. And Paul, my nigga Paul Phoenix, son. Like, don't fuck with my son. Like the power punches, nigga. Don't let it connect, nigga.
That's
You in for a
hilarious.
long fucking day, nigga.
Yo, Gas, what's your 3?
Yeah, give me something.
Oh, you said only 3?
Yeah, just 3. Because we
You
could
can
be
do
here
more
all
than
day,
3.
nigga.
I
Like
gave like 4.
What was it like? Lee Law Ultimate 2 with Steve.
Yeah.
Steve.
well,
Okay.
Fucking. There's a couple other, but we can move on.
I bet. The last thing I would say about characters, I'm gonna give Colts and props for that, is I've always wanted to main that nigga King. Cause that's one thing I felt has always been consistent in Tekken is I don't care how nice you are, my nigga. If King grabs you,
Yeah, sir.
it's over for you,
It's
son.
fucking done.
It's fucking
And,
over,
and
son.
not only that, but King, surprisingly enough, people don't realize King has like crazy, like already just physical strike combos.
Yes.
Like he has the triple lariat kick, the bang bang bang
Yup.
on the floor. Then he'll hit you with the hand slap, bop bop bop, and then he could just grab you with the
Nigga.
double grabs, triple
Nigga,
grabs.
if this nigga King catches you with the stagger kicks, nigga, and then turn that shit into a German suplex and don't let you go.
First of all, don't give me space because I'm gonna run and drop kick your
It's
ass.
over, nigga. Like-
and it's gonna break your guard, and then I'm gonna immediately grab you, nigga. Fuck out of here. Let's get it.
Facts. Speaking of characters, honestly, when you think about it, the whole Kazama Mishima family, why did these two families that's mad good at fighting procreate together, nigga?
Yo, exactly. They got one destructive family and one passive family.
Nigga,
and
what? And
They,
all
they
these
made
niggas
the
can
ultimate
fight, son.
wallers.
Yo, they are the Skywalkers of fighting games,
They
my
are,
nigga.
but they also the Siths.
They are though. They are.
Because the ruler 2 is very
Nigga,
deep in
it's-
that family.
You think about
What's the ruler 1 in that family?
dead ass. You think of the whole family. You got June, you got Jin, you got Asuka the cousin, you
Yes,
got
sir.
Hayashi,
You got Lars.
You got the OG Jin.
Remember,
Pachi.
Lars is
Yeah.
part of the family.
You got the old
Jinpachi go
nigga,
crazy.
The wild pop, son. You got Kazumi, you got Kazuya. Like these niggas is crazy, son. This is family.
There's too much crazy shit going on. There's too much crazy shit going on over there. We love to see it.
I think the final thing I would definitely like to say about Tekken is like, as we were talking about like the mechanics and shit, like they have a lot of fun with like, you know, the fighting styles and shit. And then they'll throw in some random shit like a bear knows karate. Like you fight Kuma.
Yes,
Or
sir.
you fight Panda.
Or
You know what I
Roger,
mean?
the
Roger.
kangaroo.
Or Roger
Or his
Jr.
family.
nigga. Like fighting out the
Which is
pouch.
the mom and motherfucking Lil Roger in the pouch, nigga. You might fight
Mokujin,
Cone, the fucking dinosaur.
nigga, son. Like, yo,
We love it.
I do
Panda,
like that.
Zayu's
Yeah.
pet.
Yeah, I kind of always wish like they do like a DLC and it'd be like designer.
Oh my god, Panda.
Oh, final thing. What is your worst ass whooping in Tekken that you can remember? Like somebody smoked your fucking boot. You're like, God damn, you got that one.
Well, okay. I do remember around the time of Tekken 6,
Uh-huh.
I was like actually in my crib, like labbing Tekken, and my main character was. Let me see if he's even. To be honest, I don't know if it was Tekken 6 or 7, but
What
I'll
was the
tell you right
storyline?
now. It was I was using Bayok.
What was the storyline?
I don't remember. It might have been 6 because 6 is the one where Jin was the one who was running the corporation.
I think so.
So let me see.
4 was when Jin was in. 4, 5, 6.
6 was when he was running the shit.
All right.
It
so
was
what-
okay. So it was 6 or 5.
Uh-huh.
It was either 5 or 6
Okay.
because Bayok was a character in both of those.
Oh yeah, he did come back.
Right.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
basically, I was labbing with him, and I was getting nice,
Mhm.
and I started going online, and I started catching some W's.
Okay. Feeling
But
yourself.
here's the thing about catching W's in these video games: you rank up,
Yeah.
and now you gotta fight harder people
Yeah,
to
nigga.
actually know what the fuck is going on in the game. And I always remember this. I went into the game. I was online. The person picked King. Surprisingly, they picked King, right?
Niggas don't
The
just pick
nigga
King, nigga.
hit me with the 10-hit confirmed combo that they teach you in the shit. Like, and if you know what a 10-hit
Yes, nigga.
confirmed combo is, like, you just can't do anything.
You just gotta watch.
And he was just hitting me with so many grapples. The nigga did the shit from Tekken Bloodline. He did the spin throw. Nigga did the spin throw run under elbow, grab me on the ground, punch me twice, hit me with like some arm bar, hit me with like some other shit, and then like I got up and then he immediately grabbed me and did the super moonsault John and like perfect me the first round, right? So second round, I'm kind of fighting, I'm kind of going crazy. Like his health is like a sliver of health.
Yeah.
And my health is like 75%. So now I'm like, I got this nigga.
You
Fuck
being
outta
over
here.
anxious,
I'm
nigga.
I'm
Still
trying to
king, nigga.
No, he just fucking just starts hitting me with mad crazy moves, like just so much crazy shit. And like he just beat me, nigga. And I just remember being like, yeah, I'm not a Tekken player, man. It's Tekken not for me, dude.
So here's my story. So I took a long break from Tekken because Tekken used to be my shit. You know what I mean? And I bought Tekken 7. I mean, yeah. And I had this shit, and I'm sitting there. It's still in the plastic. I haven't played fighting games in man long because by then, I kind of moved on to like open world platform. You know what I mean? Like shit you could just kind of like kick back and like chill to while you play. And I was like, fuck it. Now I want to relive the old days, nigga. So I'm like, all right, let me open this shit up. And niggas taught me thing about the old days.
Yo,
they the old
old
days,
days.
nigga. So I'm playing with Paul. I jump online just like you said, like once you get a couple W's, they start raising your rank or whatever. You start facing the real niggas. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna stick to Paul. I know like Paul's whole moveset, like the back of my hand. Like I know all that shit. I pick Paul, go online. This nigga picks Bob. Now, Bob is the big nigga, like the big fat nigga, and he smoked my fucking boots that first round. It was a perfect. I was like, what the fuck was that?
Nigga move too fast. You don't expect that.
Yo, I did not. And then like the second round, I got close, but of course he won. And then this nigga gives me a rematch and smokes me again. Because clearly, like, he had like the Sharingan or whatever, so he knew what my moves were. And this nigga was like, all right, let's run it back. Smoke my fucking boots. I was just like, you know what? Maybe I stick to the oceans and the waterfalls like I used to, son. Like maybe this shit is not for me no more. But nah, fuck that. I'm still coming back when that new Tekken drop. So
and when Street Fighter drop.
Facts. Final thing, Kazuya be fucking. Like this.
He do.
Shout out to all my niggas across all either games or whatever the fuck that we fucking, son. Like shout out to him. Shout out to Steve.
That's your big
nah, deadass. Shout out to Kazuya. Shout out to Steve Rogers. Shout out to Palpatine, nigga. Yeah. All my niggas be fucking.
Oh my god. That's hilarious.
Shout out to them. So all right. So the main thing of this episode is we want to talk about Tekken Bloodline.
Yes, sir.
Now, I mean, like it recently dropped on Netflix. If you follow our calendar on Twitter, you would have this alert.
Yes, sir.
So let's get into it. I know you were very hyped.
Yes, sir.
Give me your, I mean, it's episode by episode, but we're not going to do episode. We just going to sum the whole shit up. You can give me your overall feelings of it.
All right. So this is my honest review about Tekken Bloodline. Something that I was very hyped to see. Something I'm very excited about.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give the goods. Every fight scene was pretty amazing.
Yeah.
It was pretty lit. There were maybe some parts that I feel like they could have showed us more of the fights, but it's only 6 episodes.
Yeah.
So I'll give them a fake benefit of the doubt for that. One of my cons about it is like y'all could have did more episodes. Y'all could have did like 2 more episodes, show a little bit more of the fights, a bit more of the action. It would have been cool. But them getting to the point is pretty dope. I like the storyline. I will say there's inconsistencies in the storyline, like throwing Leroy Smith and Marduk, who are from future games, even though this is technically the Tekken 3 storyline, which will throw continuity off. But it's an anime, whatever, I guess.
3.
Yeah, this
is definitely the story of 3.
This is when they fight Ogre and True Ogre.
Yeah.
Like after he killed people already. This is the Tekken 3 storyline.
Yeah.
Didn't he fucking transform?
Yeah, he turned into True Ogre in this.
Yeah, at the end.
This is the Tekken 3 storyline.
No, I mean fucking Jin.
Yeah, which would also they would circumvent in
4 and
future.
5.
They would. That's what I'm saying. There's discrepancies with the storyline. Like Jin is Devil Jin earlier.
Yeah,
There's
it's like they
Leroy
use.
Smith who's here earlier.
It's
They
like they
have
use.
Marduk who's here
It's
earlier,
like they use the Tekken 3 story as the foundation,
and
and
then
then combine
added future
from the
people
other
from the
shit
thing,
into
which
it.
is could show discrepancies with it, which would make sense. But at the same time, I feel like it works.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Just give me
I
an overall. Give me an overall.
It's pretty good.
Mhm.
I will say it's pretty good. I enjoyed all the fights. I enjoyed that they didn't make King a punching bag because I thought that they would.
We're gonna talk about King of the Few.
Zhao Yu was cool. Huarang was cool. Nina was cool.
Mhm.
We didn't get to see Kuma Yoshimitsu or Marduk, which I thought was pretty lame, but they showed them, which is showing love. Julia's there. This is King 2,
Yeah.
which is dope because of the orphanage and shit. But
Mhm.
again, it could be discrepancies. I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. I like the action. I felt like it could have been longer. I feel like they could have had a little bit more episodes. But I know this is only a part 1 type of thing, and they
Yeah,
have
you
a
could
part
tell.
2 coming on.
What
I didn't
about-
like how you do Leroy. But
We're gonna get to that too.
other than that, yeah, overall, I'd give it a 4.
Four.
I give it a 4. I
Strong
like
4.
it. 4 out of 5.
Okay. What about you, Gas?
There's a couple points, right?
Netflix. Bulletin points. Okay, let's go.
Ahead.
Not even gonna start with Netflix. Just throwing that out there.
Netflix,
right? They do a lot of things. What was the show that they did with the gods versus the humans?
Yo, I love that
Right?
you
Blood
brought
of
that
Zeus?
shit up because
Okay,
I
Blood
thought
of
of that.
Zeus.
I thought of that shit.
Right?
There's something
Yeah.
like Blood
Not
of
Blood of
Zeus.
Zeus.
No, there's
It's not
another
Blood of
one.
Zeus.
It's like a
No.
fighting tournament type
a
shit.
Oh,
tournament.
Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Of,
Yes,
of, yeah.
yes.
Legends of Ragnarok.
And that shit ended halfway through, son.
Yeah.
No, it's not done.
Yeah, I know it's not
It's
done.
not
I'm
done,
just
but
saying,
yeah,
like, they
continue.
stopped it.
Yeah,
And it's
but
like, we're going to
that-
get more.
That would be a good example of Netflix doing something right? In this case, I think they did a good job in terms of nostalgia, but the show itself, for where it ended off, I feel like for another season, it's like it's not pulling you in to necessarily want to watch that again. I think the action scenes were pretty cool in terms of nostalgia, but in terms of rewatchability, I'm not too sure about that. It felt a little lackluster a little bit.
Okay.
For people who care about Tekken, I think they'll probably enjoy this.
What
But for
more would you
people
want?
Who I would prefer them to make a show that was actually watchable all the way through. I think if it was a little bit more, I feel you on the more episodes, maybe but at the same time, with the other show, the Ragnarok one,
Yeah.
they did a pretty good job overall with the amount of episodes that they had. And I just feel like the Netflix always does this where they just like it's either nostalgia or we're gonna prop it up as much as possible. So I give it like a 3, a 3 sliding on 2.5, 3 because I feel like they could have did better.
Okay, so I'll say one thing about what he said. In terms of fighting, when he said Tekken fans would enjoy it more, when we were watching those clips, I did enjoy it more. Remember when I was like, yo,
Yeah.
I can tell you the button
'Cause we know
combinations
what
to
it
these
is.
moves. Like, you can tell they were very faithful in that aspect of these are actual combos from the game. Like, if you're a Tekken fan, you knew Hayashi's 2 jab punch. Like, you knew that shit. You knew the hammer. You knew Jin's bicycle kick. Like, you knew all that shit. You knew June's the flip kick shit. Like, you knew all the moves. So they were very faithful on that.
Can I ask you a question real quick before we move on?
Mhm.
Gas. Do you think it's because, and I will kind of agree with, and I would deadass agree with you on this. Do you think it's because they use more of the 3D shit than animation?
The animation was a little iffy. I would say that it was a little iffy.
It was a little
The
bit
cell
more
shade
than-
shit.
But at the same time, if we really thinking about it, Ragnarok sort of did the same thing. It's not exactly the same, but it's sort of the same thing. And if you can do it once, I think you could do it again. And I'm not going to give Netflix any sort of benefit of the doubt when it comes down to that.
I'm gonna be real. I feel like with Legend of Ragnarok,
there was less nostalgia, so they had more open
Even
world
with
where
less nostalgia, I feel like it's like kind of equal quality, in my opinion. Even without the nostalgia, I do believe that they
quality
both
in
like
terms of what?
in like the
Like show
animation, how they did
style,
the
like
fights.
but here's what I'm saying. Watching the whole thing, right? For Ragnarok, I'm anticipating the second season. I want to see the second season, right? With this one, I think I might watch it off of nostalgia, but I'm not necessarily anticipating it. You
Do
get
you
what I'm
think
saying?
you're not anticipating it because you're used to the storyline already?
I mean, I didn't care because look, they could have wrote a different storyline, and that would have been completely fine. It could have been totally different characters, totally new characters, and that would have been fine. I would have actually preferred that.
But this is what I'm
But
asking you.
but since they did what they did, they had to make it the best they possibly could, and I don't think they did that.
So I feel
But
I
that's
get
more
what
on
you're
Netflix
saying. I
than
get what
anything.
you're saying. I just feel like maybe from a general perspective, a person who don't really know that much about Tekken, when they watch this and they watch
But
these
that's what
things,
okay. Go
they
ahead.
will be interested in where this is going. Almost like the same way how we feel about Record of Ragnarok because we don't have that nostalgia. They
As
are interested to
see,
see where it
yes,
goes further because I only
see,
say that because they dropped hints of things of what's gonna happen in the future, and people are interested in like his father, like you know what I'm saying, things like that. Because obviously, in the end, when they shoot Jin and he comes back as a devil and then he just flies away, like he said he killed Kazuya, but that nigga has the devil gene too. So now we know, like, for the future, maybe Kazuya is still out there. Maybe he's about to go look for Kazuya. And I feel like as a general audience, if I don't really know that much,
that's
I'm
you
more interested
using,
in what
but
is
that's you
going on.
right there using your previous knowledge. That's
No, no,
you
no, no. I'm
knowing
saying,
what the
while
storyline is.
yes,
But
but
here's
I'm
what I'm
saying from a
exactly as I was
general
saying. You
audience,
watching it, yeah. This is from watching it generally. It doesn't lead you into the next thing. It sort of just ends it off there more
but
than just
this is
moving you
what.
into it.
But I'm telling you, if I was a person that did not know what was going on, he's talking about his father who has a devil gene, the nigga said he killed. But obviously, a person with a devil gene can't be just killed easily, shown from how Jin went through that. So what I'm saying is like from a scope of a person that doesn't kind of know what's going on, if I'm following the storyline, obviously
You'll
Kazuya
know
might
what
still be
yeah,
alive.
obviously you'll know what's going on and you know what might happen. But
So
that's not
that's
what
what
I'm
I'm
saying.
saying. No, I know, but I'm saying that's gonna give a general person a sense of
Yeah,
I want to
that's
see
true.
what happens in the future. I'm not saying you or me. You get what I'm saying? Like, cause we know. So your point is 100% valid. Cause I do get that, but also like me feeling like I want to see where this goes because they have so much more characters.
Yeah, but
Even beyond the nostalgia,
that's
even
nostalgia.
beyond this, that's not this
They
that
have so
isn't
many more
only
characters
nostalgia.
alone is
That's
you
also knowledge, and like
yeah,
when you have knowledge of something, we
you
got to
have
stop
but that's
using.
nostalgia.
But well, honestly, you're probably not even using nostalgia in a bad way.
That's
Honestly, right
it's
now,
not negative. I'm
yeah.
not saying
Oh,
it
okay,
as a
true.
negative
So
thing.
yeah, it is nostalgia, and like
It
if
is
you know
nostalgia.
the story, you know that you're looking forward to something,
Exactly. And
and
that's
even if you don't know
see,
the
see what I'm
story,
saying?
but even beyond that, I'm saying even if you don't know the story, the same way with Legend of Ragnarok, because I agree with you, it's one of those things where like I seen a bunch of shit and I'm like, oh, I'm anticipating what's about to happen in the future. I do get with just Jin flying away, that could seem like the end of it, like there's no more. But throughout the whole story, after seeing Jin get shot and like him just come back as the demon, I'm like, oh, Kazuya's still out there.
So just to give a different perspective, because he brought up Netflix, I
Mhm.
feel like one of the things, just thinking from like a business aspect, I feel like one of the reasons why Ragnarok could end the way it did is I would think, just spitballing it, that the price of the licensing for Ragnarok is much cheaper than Tekken. So
Yeah.
if I do Tekken to make sure, let's say you put it out and it bombs, at least I only invested 6 episodes. The story's wrapped. Like I didn't leave it on like a cliffhanger in a way. Like it ended in a way where it's like if they never make another
Okay,
episode,
now
it
you
ties
see,
together.
yes, I agree with that. And the problem with that is, do you want people to watch it as new watchers, or do you want the people who are nostalgic to
They
enjoy it?
want
Because
both.
if you want the people, hold on, if you want the people nostalgic to enjoy it, then that makes a lot of sense, and I can agree with that. But if you want the people to actually watch it, they needed to add, like Colton was saying, either more
Yeah.
episodes.
No.
I would agree with that, or I agree with that to an extent, because I think with the amount of 6 episodes is a lot of episodes if you really think about it.
True.
6 episodes is a lot of episodes.
True.
So for you to not be able to get a well enough storyline that it feels like something else is coming versus just ending it off like that, I don't know if people in general without the nostalgia is gonna want to watch that.
You know why? I guess another reason why, like again, me, like I'm letting y'all talk from the fan perspective. I'm gonna just talk from like just devil's advocate, like business perspective, is the idea of I do want people to watch it, but I'm not sure you will. So I'm not gonna invest too much. Cause I can give you the 8, I can give you the 10, I can give you the 12 episodes if we really wanted to, but I don't know if you're that invested other than like you was just saying about the nostalgia shit. So if I'm getting in new fans, if I tie this shit into a nice little ribbon with 6 episodes and I find out, hey, the marketing team gets back to me, or like the niggas pull a stats and it's like, oh man, people were watching this. Okay, we ended it in a way where it's like it's finished, but at the same time, we could expand on this, just like Colton said about and bringing in Kazuya. Like we can now, we've left enough empty like plot, well, not necessarily plot holes, but we left enough like strings untied that if we wanted to go back based on like the reception of this, we can expand and it'll still continue. You know what I mean? Like it'll still make sense in a way. But at the same time, if the shit bombs, nigga, there you go. 6 episodes and we wrap.
But even beyond that, if I'm thinking as like a writer of a series that has multiple characters that like a lot of people like love, I might not want to just stick with Jin Kazama as my main character for the entire arc. I might want to explore other people.
You got a
who
lot of
are also-
storylines you can
You
explore.
get what I'm saying?
yes.
So I believe that this 6 episode arc is just showing what can happen in the future, because we had to like, in my opinion, that's why I believe they did need more episodes to maybe smoothen it out. Maybe one more. You get what I'm saying? Like it was one of those things where it felt like, yes, we know Jin has been like leading up to becoming the devil because he had the devil gene in him. But now he just did it, and now he's like just flew away. We
Because
get
you know what
like,
it is? I feel like if they added more, I feel like the reason why they only gave us 6 is because the story felt like it didn't feel rushed. It felt like they told the story
Yeah.
they wanted to tell. If they gave us extra episodes, it would have just been to like pad the ending.
True.
With like, it would have just been like, hey, this would have given me my chance to see Law fight or seeing
Or
Kuma fight. Like,
Yoshimitsu
yeah,
or
or
Kuma,
Yoshimitsu.
shit
Like,
like
that's
that.
all they would have really gave us. But the fact that they didn't do that is because they felt they told the story that they needed to tell so it doesn't drag. And then it ended. And it's like, maybe if the reception's good, we continue it. If it isn't, then
But I,
it
I,
ended.
Maybe
I
if the
truly feel,
reception's
but I
good,
even truly feel like
we'll
the
continue it.
reception is going to be good.
Okay,
Like
I
even
can-
beyond like
based on
even beyond nostalgia.
hold on.
Like I feel like the reception is going to be good, because I feel like the Netflix motto of them dropping like 6 episodes or 10 episodes and then part 2 come out later, if like people,
I do
like,
feel like they will be a part
they
2,
know,
though.
like, because again, even with Legends of Ragnarok, that shit is hot to us, like,
Yeah.
but that shit was not talked on social media a lot, and they're gonna definitely get a part 2.
Yeah, that's
So
what I was
it's
saying
really
earlier.
just about the viewership.
That's what I
And
was
It's
saying.
about the viewership and
That-
the watchability, being able to see it and know that, okay, after I watch this one time, I might watch it again, or I might watch a second season.
And
This
and,
does not give that to me.
and that's why I was saying earlier.
Watching again
about,
and watching a second season is 2 different things.
No,
to me.
listen, this is what I was saying about the idea of a budget. Like, if it's
Okay.
cheaper to make Ragnarok, then you can make multiple seasons and you can stretch that shit out because it's not much of an investment. It's not a risk.
True.
Tekken, I'm pretty sure they paid good money from
Yeah,
Capcom
that's
to
a
get
fact.
that shit.
Yeah, for the license. Go
That's
ahead.
a fact.
Exactly. So if you have a certain amount of money, you want to make back a certain amount of money, so you're only
true.
going to spend a certain amount of
Yeah,
money.
that's a
So
So
you
fact.
want to? So you think they wanted to shoot towards the people that they knew would watch it
Yeah, absolutely.
immediately, yes. And if
immediately?
it if it
And if it does
expands
well enough with them, then we'll expand the storyline and
exactly,
push it
and
out to
then
everyone else.
and like
If
hopefully
that's
word
the
of
case,
mouth.
that's fine. I can.
That's
I
legit what
can
Netflix
roll.
is doing.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just
Well,
saying
I
from
don't
a
know if that's what they're
I
doing.
don't
No,
know.
it
I
is
don't know
because
what they're
remember
I
they
doing.
can
put
roll
the,
with
they
that,
took the
but
bread away from animation,
No,
so
I'm
you already know
as
that
we said,
every
no.
animation
I'm just saying
feels like it's a probationary period.
I'm just
thing.
saying based on a business aspect, if I want to maximize my profit. So I'm going to spend the least amount I possibly can and get as much money back as I can. So if I put out if I give you niggas a 6-pack and I know the hardcore fans are definitely going to watch that shit, cool. And if they could give it enough hype that the other niggas that's just on Netflix happen to watch that shit too, we make enough and it garners enough interest, then yeah, I could give you on another season of somebody else. Maybe it doesn't continue with Jin, and Jin is more of a secondary character in the next one. And maybe they focus more on Kazuya. Like he comes back and it's like his story, or like
well,
everything that
if you were
happens
gonna
before.
do that, some lead up would have been appreciated.
It
You
would
know what
have.
I'm
It
saying?
would have. It
Just
would have.
not even not for us, and that's what I keep saying. It's not for us. It's for the other people who don't give a fuck about
Nah, you're
Tekken, who
right.
just watch
You're
it.
right.
Yeah.
We can't. The thing about just shooting for, and this is why I like that Ragnarok is sort of a new. It's
It
a
doesn't come
new
with any
thing. It doesn't come with
preconceived
any
like anything.
exactly. Like there's no notions. Just sort of like this is also not to beat a dead horse, but this is also sort of my issue with Spider-Man, man. Like it's you try to do this thing where it's so nostalgic, but then you fall short by doing what's cool, sort of kind of,
Mhm.
but not what's important.
So I'm gonna continue that point because that's a good point. That's what I was saying about the idea of a 6-episode series where it's like it ends, but it doesn't end. Like if you're not a fan and you don't know Kazuya is possibly coming back, it technically ended for you. So kind of like that's what they did with No Way Home because like the contract with Sony and Marvel and Disney is kind of finicky. Like them niggas was trying to wrap that shit up. So they ended it in a way where Spider-Man can continue to be Spider-Man, but he no longer knows the Avengers no longer know this nigga conveniently while it doesn't hurt their contract. So like he can be Spider-Man wherever the fuck and have his own personal adventures, but he'll never meet the Avengers again unless them niggas fix that shit on the back end. So kind of like for this, if people don't reach and like enjoy the shit the way they expect them to, it ended. It's over. Like we don't have to tell the rest of the story. And I feel like going to Colton's point, if they really wanted to show you and your point, kind of like that there's a possibility of a part 2, it could have had an end clip where like after Hayashi throws Kazuya off of the cliff, maybe we see a hand twitch or some shit.
Yeah,
Like maybe he
we see
did
a handshake.
exactly.
Twitch.
It's
Or
like-
maybe we see a totally different character doing something totally different, living somewhere else.
Exactly.
But
But they didn't do any
maybe
of
to
that.
Another
y'all
character
point,
arc,
but
you
maybe
feel
to
me?
the point that y'all are agreeing to, if this is one of those things where people are, because what I think again, like I said, Netflix has dropped their animation budget,
Mhm.
so I feel like every animation that gets approved now is in a probationary period because
Exactly,
of
that's
how
what I'm
the
saying.
streaming and shit has been going. If it is probationary, why would they drop that post-credit scene?
But that's what I'm saying.
in my
That's why they
opinion.
tie that shit together in a way where it's like, this is an ending. In case it does well, it can continue. Like it's a
But it's
open-ended
also
ending.
as a nigga that follows like fan and critical stores, it is doing good.
Yeah.
So in my head, they have an IP that's Bandai Namco,
Mhm.
and as much as like maybe for us that's nostalgia, that's a pretty big thing that's happening right now, especially with like fresh off the tails of
What's a
Evo
pretty
and
big
shit.
thing?
Like the fight game community, like that's a pretty big community, and like fighting game, and we just fresh off Evo.
Yeah. No,
So
it
they
was good
dropped
timing.
this.
It was
It's
really good timing.
Like in my head,
That was
again,
well placed.
my biggest
Not,
thing.
I'm not. Okay, go ahead.
I'm just saying, if we're talking marketability and marketing wise, even like what you guys are saying, they didn't want to put too many eggs in this basket, which makes dead ass sense. They did a good job. Like,
well,
with
that's what I'm saying.
what-
Like they
like,
chose
they-
the best possible time to release it. Straight off of Evo. The clip of a possible new Tekken on the way. So niggas that's in the fight community are buzzing. and then you drop the series. Like, no, it's great timing. Like, that's what I said. So, like,
And
even
it's short and sweet to the point.
exactly. So if it's only 6 episodes, if you sat down with a team of execs and y'all niggas are trying to figure out when's the best time to drop this shit, now, nigga, like, we just came off of Evo. The whole fighting community is going crazy. Namco drops a possible teaser for a new Tekken. Yes, nigga, like, now you don't wait a year. Like, you drop this shit now. So again, if you want a high return on your investment, this is the best time to drop it. Let's see how people feel about it. If they like it, it gets rewatched enough, we put a little bit more money into a second season and give you something else. So no, I totally agree with both of y'all. I feel like both points can be combined, and you look at it from the
I'm not
business.
disagreeing.
No,
with
that's what I'm saying.
anything
Like,
you
I
guys
feel
are
like
saying.
both points, y'all combine
Like,
both points, and
I'm
that's
just
where I
saying
was kind of going to.
as in the general audience sense, like not everybody in the general audience, like, because we have nostalgia, like we have the
100%.
knowledge, like we
I can't
know what the fuck
I
is
can't
going
hide that
on.
shit.
We knew specifically when we watched it that it was a Tekken 3 storyline.
Yes.
Most people are gonna watch it and be like,
Tekken
"This
4
is
or
some."
5. I don't know if it's the Tekken 3.
It is
That
no,
really
it is.
tripped
It's
me out.
legit the Tekken 3 storyline.
It's Tekken 3 because it's literally the maturation of Jin.
And it says that it's the Tekken 3 storyline.
Yeah.
Like straight up. Like but
they take elements from
they
the
take
others,
elements from
but
it. That's the base.
that's
of
the
what it
problem.
is.
Yeah, that's the
And
foundation of
again,
it. But
I told you that
yeah,
was
the
my gripe with
continuity,
it
yeah,
because
yeah.
the continuity can definitely be weird and out of place because they're just placing.
But at the same
popular
time,
characters. But
they're
it's an
not
anime.
They're
And they
not
got 6
thinking about that
episodes.
shit because again,
They're just trying to get a story out.
We're talking about the idea of if they're trying to make this for more than just fans, then you combine the stories to give you a chunky story just in case like this is the only story you're going to tell. And a person that's never played Tekken in their life, they're just going to assume this is the story. They're not going to give a fuck that Leroy wasn't there for Tekken 3. Like,
And
I
like
told
most of
you-
the general audience, their take on this of what they've seen so far is like, oh shit, this is some action packed like anime nonsense that I like. Like, and most people generally
Most people
they're
just
gonna
gonna
like
glaze
that
over
action
this.
packed anime nonsense. That's what Jamal.
Most
We're
people
talking
just gonna
about the
glaze over this.
general audience. Like, not
I'm
everyone's
talking
gonna think
about
like
the general audience, Colton. I'm not talking about everybody. I'm talking about the.
that is what that's
I'm
mostly
not talking about.
people.
I'm separating the people like us who care about the thing,
Jamal,
and people who
I'm
just
saying the
watching the show.
general audience is saying that it's action-packed nonsense because they don't know
It's
what the fuck is
action-packed
going
nonsense,
on.
exactly.
And that's good because they watch it. They
Yeah.
enjoy that.
I mean, at
that's why
action-packed
niggas like
nonsense,
Baki.
and
That's why
don't know-
niggas like, you get what I'm
Wait,
saying?
wait,
Like,
you're saying it's action-packed nonsense.
I'm not
that
saying
nobody
me
knows.
specifically.
Okay, but what does that? What are you saying when you say that? What does
When
that
I
mean
say
specifically?
that is when a general person watches an anime that has mad action and fights, the most things that they get out of it is, oh, it's action packed. I like the action. I like the fights. I like this is
Okay,
nice.
so that's
to me.
something totally different.
That's
than
what
yeah,
the
yeah, that's what I'm
general
saying. Like,
audience
so I'm gonna go to Gas Point. So basically, I feel like the overall thing with Netflix, unless you're like Stranger Things or some shit like that, like a major IP on that label, you literally like the entire Netflix like company, like the motto of the model of the company isn't like a Disney Plus where it's like, oh, we want you to keep coming back, so you only get one episode a week. They just want you to consume and then move on to
Get the fuck
the
about
next
it.
thing
To the
to
next
consume.
thing.
And then if you consumed enough of that last thing and we could put in a budget and a year from now we'll give you another one, you consume that too.
No.
But we know who the core fans are that
Exactly.
super care. But like the average fan, if we get you to watch, that's all we cared about. Honestly, because we know because of our Netflix model that we drop everything at the same
If
time.
we do it the one time and we get it out of there, fuck it. It was great.
We got it.
And that's what I don't like about it.
Right,
I
that's
don't
what I'm
like exactly.
No, I'm saying I totally got what he was trying to go
understand
with
that, but
versus a
what I'm
Ragnarok
saying
thing. But go
is
ahead.
legit. It's like to general audiences, both of those things are just action-packed nonsense to them. If they don't
Right,
really
but I mean, it's not
understand
even
what's
like,
Can you
going on.
specify action packed?
When I say action-packed nonsense,
I know what
Jamal,
he
there's
means.
legit. I can send you articles
No,
of
no,
them
it's not-
calling
no,
these things action-packed
no.
nonsense.
Because you
In
said
the most,
action-packed
in the most, in the
nonsense.
most,
All right, let me-
in
it's
the
a little
most
bit-
general way, it's not necessarily
All right,
nonsense.
let
It
me-
just means
yeah,
like
rephrase
people
it.
want to watch action.
All right,
they just
so-
want to see action. They want to see people beat
Go-
each other up.
I'ma
They want
go-
to see people explode. They want to see
I'ma
niggas
go-
get
I'ma go on-
suplexed
on-
fire. That's what people
Yeah, I get
want
you.
to see.
I
All
get
right,
what you're
all right.
saying.
That's what
just,
I
you
mean.
just have to
It's
rephrase
not
it.
necessarily
So
nonsense.
like literally, it's like why what he's calling like nonsense is kind of like the Gray Man. Like you watch that shit for an hour and a half, and then you forget about the shit.
But
like it's
I like that.
no. But I'm saying like
I don't mean it in a negative
no,
sense.
I know. Like I just feel like it's like a bingeable thing. Like you watch it and you move on, and they're just happy that you watched it. You know what I mean? Like their job was just to get you to watch it. They don't give a fuck if you're seething at the mouth waiting for the next like continuation, because their model is to keep putting out more shit. It doesn't matter if it's a continuation or not. It's just more shit, more shit, more shit. And along the way, hopefully, we find these subgenres of fans that care about it. Like me personally, I've never seen an episode of Lock and Key, but there's niggas who care about that shit, like love it. And then you might catch me, I might watch an episode or two, and then I move on. They're happy that I watched the episode or two. I gave them the ratings that they wanted and the viewership that they wanted, but they also know that they have their core fan base. So even with Tekken, a nigga that doesn't watch Tekken or play Tekken, maybe they watched the episodes and was like, this is cool. But it didn't turn them into a huge fan. That's cool. But we got those fucking 6 viewership episodes out of your ass, and we still have our core fan base. I feel like as Netflix, that's what they care about. You know what I mean?
Right. And that's why Netflix has the issues they have now.
They do. They do.
Right.
I'm just saying, like, I feel like they're too, and this is beyond Tekken. I feel like they're in too deep with their model.
This whole conversation is beyond Tekken.
Yeah. Like their model is you know what it's like? If I start selling you niggas t-shirts for $5 and you've been buying t-shirts from me for $5 for like the last 10 years, and then I decide to sell a t-shirt for $25, you're like, yo, what the fuck is this? So it's too late for them to do like an episode by episode type situation like once a week, because niggas come to Netflix to binge. Like you're Netflix and chill. Like you're not, I'm gonna watch 30 minutes of this show and then
once you watch all of them,
you don't care.
What else is there to watch?
Something else, nigga. Like that's literally our plan.
Not recently on Netflix.
Nigga,
Tell me
but
how
they
many
drop
shows you've been
something
watching.
every week.
Yeah, they do. But tell me how much of it you've been watching.
What you watch is not the same as the output of the content that they put out. I get what you're saying. I 100% understand.
No, I understand what you're saying
because I agree with you. But they're not thinking the way we're thinking.
Exactly.
They're thinking if I drop 5 or 8 new things every day, that should hold people down for the thousands of things we already have.
Exactly.
I don't think Netflix, and I could be wrong, but I don't think they're thinking when we drop this shit, we want you to watch it 100 times. That's great. That's great. But like, we want you to at least watch it once.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying? And like most people are going to watch something once, probably forget about it, and then watch the next thing.
Exactly.
And that's like...
That's what I was saying earlier.
That's all I feel about like when it comes to this type
That's
of
what
shit.
I was saying earlier about IPs. Like if you're not one of their major IPs, like a Stranger Things, where it's like for them, this is an event that we're putting this shit on our fucking streaming service. If you're just like Tekken or whatever, and it's like, cool, we don't own you. We're licensing, so we're not going to put the type of, budget we put into one of our original series. If you watch it as a casual, great. Like, but if we know who this is catered to, like the fact that Colson brought up the timing, I didn't even think of that shit. Like, yeah, we know who we're catered to, nigga. Like,
no, the timing was good. It was cool.
So like they know that's their audience for that niche, and that's who they're focused on. And if we get a couple extra people running along the way, fan fucking tastic. Like that's literally
in terms of a show, it was good. It was good.
Honestly, I enjoyed it.
I wouldn't say it was the worst show ever, but I'm not gonna say it was, because see, when you talk about these type of shows, then you gotta compare it to like Street Fighter and shit like that.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
Which then it gets so complicated.
Exactly.
So it's like, all right, Netflix
Street
do
Fighter
better.
had a recent show.
Please.
No. I just think you mean in general. Like, because like they have like the movies and shit. But I just mean like, for the reason why I could say I enjoyed it is because it doesn't run too long. It's 6 episodes. You can knock this shit out in like 2-3 hours like I did. And again, like it ends in a way where it's like, if we never make another episode, here's your story. Ta-da, we're done. But
you don't have to ever watch it again.
You never have to watch it again. You're satisfied. But if it does well enough, we can continue. Because we never talked about Kazuya. We have no idea where Jin went. Like, we can continue this. Like, none of the main people died. Like, all these niggas is still alive. So we can continue this story. It's enough game to bring up Asuka. Like, bring up his cousin. Like, we can bring some shit into it. We could bring up Jinpachi. We can go back to the past and cover the first 2 tournaments. Like, there's still enough to continue. But if they don't, it's done. Like, and we can still continue to make money off this shit because it's only 6 episodes. So if you watch this shit now or a year from now, we don't give a fuck. So, Colton gave this shit. What did you give it? You gave it a 4. You gave it a 2.5/3. Okay, he moved up to a 3. Okay, we moving. We moved up a little bit.
Around there.
I'm gonna give it a 4. I really enjoyed it. I think I would have been more critical if it was longer, because then it would have felt like, okay, they're padding it with the fights. Because clearly, like you could tell the story in 6 episodes, and they did. I don't feel like they left out anything that, I was upset about. They covered enough, and then they gave you, basically they covered the story in 3 episodes, technically. And 3 episodes was the tournament. And they wrapped it up in a bow and was like, ta-da. And honestly,
Look, they did good, but they got a lot of deductions.
Okay. This nigga, he gave them a lot of deduction. I don't got 2.5 worth of deductions.
It's a limited series.
That's what I'm saying.
They continue it. If they don't, they don't.
They
did a great job.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like
I disagree with you, actually. I feel like if they added an extra episode and there was more fights, that wouldn't be padding. That would actually be the best part of it, and it would add more points.
You know why? Because it's like, I guess
they could have added some extra conversation about what the fuck is going on.
I'll tell you why. If it would feel like padding, because you didn't get those fights and they didn't fucking matter. Like, Law didn't matter to the story. Kuma didn't matter to the story. Like, these niggas, you'd have just seen them. Exactly, but that's my point. That's padding, because it doesn't do.
Care.
Look, but you're agreeing with me now.
Don't show them, nigga.
If you were gonna play towards nostalgia, do it all the fucking
exactly. This is what I'm talking about. You gonna show Yotsumitsu, Marduk,
this is exactly why they got the 2.5, man. Because it's like they could have done so much more on both fronts. Not just
I feel like this is gonna be
side.
more. I feel like maybe I'm being no. I feel like I'm being optimistic.
Yes.
In my head, I see from what I shared about, because people, again, to your point, they didn't market it to general people because people didn't know. People that didn't really know about Tekken didn't know. And then I started telling people, and a bunch of people have been hitting me up like, "Oh, I fuck with this, blah 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 blah." Boom. They could have did more when it came to the general audience, but also, here's another thing. People just go on Netflix and look at what's new and look at what they throw in front of them and be like, let me try this out.
Let me ask you a question. Do you want to see the second season of Sweet Home?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to see the second season?
Yes.
Excuse me. Yeah.
Okay. You don't?
No, I'm just asking.
Yes.
No, I see the point that he's making.
I want to see a second season of the Tekken shit.
Here's my counter to that about the more episodes. Yeah, they didn't have to show all those extra people because they didn't really matter. But at the same time, they didn't matter. But at the same time,
shit right there.
they didn't really matter. But at the same time, like I said, as a company, nigga, why are we investing more if we don't have to? Like, we gave y'all enough. You get your, just like Gas said, we gave you the nostalgia. Ta-da! You got to see Kuma, nigga. Ta-da! You ain't get to see him fight, but we still got you, nigga, because you watched the shit, and that's what we wanted.
Yeah, I don't
know what I mean?
They got what they wanted, but they still,
because they never advertised them niggas in the trailer. They didn't advertise them niggas.
I don't care if that's my business or not, nigga. I want what the fuck I want, nigga.
Exactly. That's why their model is real terrible right now. They
but
can do a lot
I'll
better.
Still give them a 4, which is crazy.
No, I'm giving them a 4.
I want what the fuck
Honestly,
I wanted.
if they never made another episode and I'm just judging off those 6 episodes, it's enough. It's enough.
It's cool.
It's enough. Like, I don't need.
It's enough for a quick watch. Exactly. It's a pump and dump, and you keep it pushing.
And then you keep it pushing, which is the Netflix model.
Here's my only thing about Record of Ragnarok,
biggest problem right now.
Record of Ragnarok. My only issue with Record of Ragnarok is while I don't have nostalgia towards it, I know that the story continues forward, so I have to see what happens. So
yeah, they ended it on a cliffhanger.
Where it's like where Tekken is one of those things like we already said, if you know,
ended on a cliffhanger too.
Yeah,
but if you don't know.
It ended.
You don't know.
Exactly.
But that's what I'm saying.
That's the problem.
But no, that's not really an issue. That's not really. I'll tell you, that's an issue to us.
Yeah.
That's not really an issue to the general public who watches that.
Yeah,
and
and
are
the general
like, what the
probably
fuck
just
is
see it
going on?
as an ending.
It's
Oh,
like,
shit.
damn, that nigga flew
What-
away.
oh,
That's
that nigga
crazy.
flew away.
Cool.
What happened?
So if there's another show that pops up, it's like, oh, I didn't
I'll
know
watch
this
that. Oh
is.
shit, I didn't know
Exactly.
That had a second season.
That's what they want.
That's
Exactly.
possibly what they want.
That
I
is what
can
they
agree
You know
with
why?
that,
You know why?
but-
Because it's not one of their IPs, so
Because
they
it's
don't
not
care
like
if you're
a regular
invested in it.
Ragnarok. That's what I'm saying.
Alright,
The difference
is there a Tekken game dropping anytime soon? That's another question.
They just released a
released
teaser, which is why I said this was a great time to put this shit out.
Let's see. Are they gonna keep it going like they did with what's that other one? Fucking
They probably are.
what's that show with the vampires?
Fuck, animated.
Castlevania.
Oh yeah.
They might.
Castlevania.
They might.
I feel like
You
it's,
guys,
it's possible.
Netflix. We know Netflix loves trying to collect IPs
Now?
and
Yeah.
trying to continue
Exactly.
a story.
But
of
did
something.
y'all like Castlevania?
Castlevania?
I did.
Is cool. I love.
I
Castlevania.
did.
Did
It's
y'all
pretty
watch
dope.
that? Y'all watched?
I didn't
watched
watch it
it,
all the
watched
way
it.
to the end.
Watched
but
it, watched it,
I'm
nigga.
gonna continue.
You watched
It's
I
really
watched
good.
it. Watched it.
And
I
that
watched
shit was
it,
good
though.
as fuck.
It was good
Yeah.
as fuck. Yes.
So
See?
all right.
Good
So
as
here's
fuck.
here's
But here's
here's
the difference.
Here's my
Netflix.
difference. I'm a no.
Castlevania's
I'm
from
a,
back in the day.
No, not
It's
even
from-
back.
it's
Not
from
even.
around-
Not even just about that, bro. Like, think about it. One, I'm pretty sure they didn't spend the type of money that they had to spend to get a Tekken.
Yes.
Two,
I mean, okay.
Yes.
yeah, you didn't
So they
spend
had
that
more
Tekken
budget
money,
to
bro.
make
Like,
Castlevania shit crazier.
and on top of that, you again, Tekken can end, and this is it. Meanwhile, like a Castlevania could continue because they know they can bring, kind of going to what Colton said, they could bring that into like this is one of our IPs.
Also, I can
Know what I
tell
mean?
you with
Versus-
Castlevania, it is a 2D game. So
Yeah.
it could be more animation than the 3D shit that Netflix does more recently.
And what I'm saying is, if you're a company and you're bringing in different properties
IPs
or
and
whatever,
shit, yeah.
your main source, what you want your biggest properties to be, are your originals. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Like the shows that you created, that
Facts.
you own.
Facts.
Nigga, if we make Tekken poppin', Capcom could be like, you know what, this shit is really popping. If you want another season of this shit, the license price just went up, nigga. Like
I
you
mean,
gotta
but
pay
that's
more
why,
for this shit.
Again,
So
I
they want their
agree
own
with
shit
them-
popping.
I agree with them leaving it on a half cliffhanger, half ending. I agree with like the nigga just flying away and it being like, I guess if there's no more, then we just stuck with this. Or if they do add more, they can continue. Like,
Exactly. It ends in a way where it's like if we don't have to continue
but I
this
do
shit, it's an
agree
ending.
that there's lackluster story points. You get
No,
what I'm saying?
I totally
So,
agree. I just feel like that's the first thing Gas said was Netflix. And I
yeah,
feel like
it is
that's
Netflix. Yeah,
it's a
nigga, we
Netflix
know how
thing
they
where it's
do.
like
Yo,
we're gonna
I'm
make
We
money.
know how they do. We know how they do. We know how
No,
they
that's
do.
what I'm saying.
We know how they
No,
do.
that's what
We
I'm
know
saying.
how
I
they
Like,
did not start on Tekken because it
know
can't
how
be
they
Tekken.
do.
no,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
it's a
We know
Netflix
how they
thing where
do.
it's
We
like
know how
if
they
it
do.
ends, it ends. If we got to spend more money and we don't have to spend no more money, nigga, we got our 6 episodes. So fuck y'all. Like that's how it ends. So I feel like I have these type of conversations and it's like I feel it from like a fan perspective, but then when you reel it back for a business perspective, this is why they do this shit, nigga. Like
makes sense.
exactly. This is,
But at the
the
same
fans
time,
suffer. The fans suffer.
The fans
But
suffer, but at the same time, it's quick reward for nothing at the end for real.
that is Netflix, nigga. That is the
Which
Netflix
is
model.
why Netflix is failing right now, and they keep doing the same model over and over again and think that shit's gonna work, but it's not.
I mean,
they gotta evolve a little bit.
I won't say it doesn't work completely.
It works,
no. You
yes,
know why?
but-
I'm gonna say that because
How many streaming services are there now that do the same thing? but
Everybody
10
do
times
this-
better?
Because
Every-
there's so
look,
many
but
of
see,
them
but
because
here's
of
the-
oversaturation.
But Netflix, you see the,
But
go ahead.
here's the thing though. We started it first, and all these other niggas pop up, but it's already looking shaky for a lot of these other niggas, bro. Like they getting HBO Max, another year at HBO Max, and them niggas was unstoppable, my nigga. Like they had the properties, they had the movies coming, and then they brought the movies in like 30 days later. So niggas wasn't even having to go to like the movie theaters to see shit. Nigga, the Batman was on fucking HBO Max like in 30 days,
the
bro.
real
Like,
moral of the story is all these niggas are losing money.
no,
Every single
all of these
one.
niggas are losing money. But at the
So-
same time, Netflix they just stick to their whatever is working for them, quote unquote working, and they're watching these other niggas fail, son. Like HBO Max was that nigga, son. Like, and it's gone now.
HBO Max is gone now because once you get through all their IPs, what else they got?
Exactly. You need originals, which
What
is what
else
I'm
they
saying. Which is
And
I
you
feel
can't
like
shoot you can't shoot 100 originals a year.
hey, Netflix is trying. That
Netflix
last
is trying.
that last what was that shit called that we
Sandman is
did?
hot.
Netflix Geeked.
Yeah.
When they dropped the Day Shift with Jamie Foxx.
I watched that. That shit's really good.
Hard.
Sandman was that was
Sandman was
That shit's
good.
tough. DC.
And on top of Sandman being
Did I watch
tough,
Netflix? I think I did.
on top of Sandman being tough, they just dropped a new episode today.
Yeah, I'm about to watch some shit.
Yeah. So they dropped a new episode of Sandman today. Man, randomly, Neil Gaiman just had an extra episode in the cut.
Okay, hold on.
Because
Sandman.
they've been putting money
talk about
into
that.
yeah, we gonna that's a whole episode, bro.
I didn't finish it.
Sandman.
I got like a
We
few
gonna
episodes.
now that's a
Sandman,
whole
Sandman.
episode.
You
We
don't
gonna
like
talk
it?
about that.
No. Watch shows always let you down a little bit, dog.
Ooh, I actually like
A
that
little
shit,
bit.
bro.
Huh?
Ooh, I like
Nah,
that shit.
it's really fucking good. But like
Nah, save it.
There's
That's the
small
episode,
part.
bro.
There's
This
a
is
small part.
save it.
that
We gonna
that
say,
docks
You
one
gotta
point
save
for
it.
me.
You
we
gotta
gonna
save
have
it.
a
You
whole
gotta save it.
conversation. Nah, save it, bro.
I
Save
don't
it.
know.
Save
I don't know.
it.
Yeah, I gotta hear it.
How
'cause I
how
don't know
recent
if I
are you
agree.
on all episodes?
I'm about to catch up. I'm on episode 6 right now.
Okay.
You got like 4 more to go.
Yeah.
As I said, it's like, yo, all right.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah,
when
save
we
it
do
because I feel like it's gonna be a hot take and it's gonna lead us into some shit, and we're gonna be here for like another hour on this episode.
Yeah.
That was for Tekken. All right, yeah. Honestly, I feel like we wrapped the episode for the most part. Like we covered everything. I would like to see I would have loved to seen my son King build the orphanage
Yo,
because he
facts.
went so fucking hard.
Yo,
The way
big
he smoked
facts.
Zai, yo, why he do that to her, son?
Yo,
Smoked
sometimes
her.
you gotta
He
do
put
it.
her he put her in the hospitals. She had a coma, nigga.
Yo,
This nigga did quit the German suplex. She's like
he did her dirty.
16.
He
son.
did her dirty as fuck. Fuck it though.
Oh,
You gotta
shit.
win
We
the
should
tournament
definitely
for the
rank
orphanage.
the Street Fighter shows.
Oh, we gonna
We should
okay.
definitely do
Okay.
that.
Make a note. We gonna have an episode on that too. So all right. So I gave it a 4. Colton gave it a 4. You gave it a 2.5. Overall, I would say the room liked it. Minus some complaints, a couple things that you wish changed, but it wasn't because of the show. It's a Netflix.
It's a Netflix issue.
Okay, cool. So, all right. Any final words? Any worthies?
Heihachi's fatherhood
Real nigga.
and grandfatherhood. Nigga is a horrible anime dad and grandfather.
We
He
gonna
finally
have,
stamped
yo,
himself.
we gonna have to have
He
a
finally stamped us. He finally pulled up an anime to show niggas.
Yo, nah.
that I've been in gaming being a horrible
Nigga.
anime dad for a very long time, and now
I've been
I
in
can
this
be
game
here
for
in anime.
years.
Now I can
Niggas
be
made
an
me an
anime.
animal, son.
Yo,
Nah,
big facts.
So my worthy Hayashi. That
Big facts.
because he's a scumbag, but he's so fucking good at it.
Yo,
My favorite part before we wrap is this nigga did like the Batman meme where like the nigga was standing in the shadows with the thumbs up and
dead
watched
ass.
Ogre and Jin go fucking Super Saiyan, and after the fight ended, pulled the blicky out.
Yo, pull the fucking gun out.
Yo, this nigga pulled out the Glock 9 that fucking 50 Cent had on the fucking mixtape cover.
He said, yeah, nigga, it's over.
Brrr, one shot, son. One shot, one kill. And he had it in the uniform,
He
nigga.
shot that nigga like 3 times at least. It wasn't like one shot. He shot him like 3 times.
Yo, imagine this nigga literally pulled the Glock out at the fucking tournament, son.
Yo, hard.
Yo, hard
Hard.
as fuck, son.
Hard.
This nigga's worthy,
Gangster.
son.
Facts.
He's worthy. All Tekken fans, because you a real nigga if you fuck with Tekken.
Yeah, man. We got all our niggas.
Putting
King.
pride. Putting
King
pride
is my
aside.
worthy.
Oh, King is definitely worthy.
is definitely
Putting
my
pride
worthy.
aside, the nigga that beat me with Bob, nigga, you a wild boy, son.
I'm
Like you
fucking
smoke,
tired.
you smoke my booze. I could admit that.
True.
No, Bob is a nice character.
yo,
You know how to use him.
Nigga, did he? Did he, nigga? And honestly, just the whole Mishima and Kazama family, nigga.
Big
Like,
facts. Pacifist and destruction.
yo, how you literally hold a tournament that only
Pacifism and
y'all.
aggression.
Yo, how you have a tournament that only y'all win?
That's hilarious.
Why
One or the
niggas show
other.
up, son?
One or the other.
Why other
hilarious.
niggas show up? And it's gonna be one of y'all every time.
That's hilarious.
Yo, so this has been another issue of the Mighty Metahumans, providing you with that high quality nerd commentary. Please subscribe, leave a review, tell a friend, sign up for the Patreon Gene Lantern community. You know what that is. You can follow us on all social media sites as The Mighty Metas. You can find me on also social media sites as Old Dirty Dennis, the dirtiest. OLDIRTYDENNIS. And you can find my man Colton.
The Colton Show, TheColtonshow __ on Twitter. And The Colton Show everywhere else on Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch. Feel me? I got a website too.
Yeah, check his website, watch him stream, know what I mean, all that shit. Send us home, bro. Give us
All
something.
right, this quote is actually pretty long and it's 2 people. Ready?
Give us something.
This is your grandson. He said his name was Jin Kazama. Leave the room. So you're my grandson. Fight me. I'm part of the Kazama family. We never fight unless we actually have to.
I don't give a fuck, nigga.
We never fight unless we get hit. Bow, bow. Now you've been hit. Fight me.
Yo, I got one more quote. And it was when my nigga Leroy had his leg broken and was like, yo, you're gonna pay for this. He was like, yo, don't be threatening me if you don't win fights,
He
my
said,
nigga.
nigga, first of all, niggas that win fights get threatened.
Exactly.
People.
Straight up, nigga.
Yo, Heihachi.
For real. Yo, we out.